Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Timbuktu Campaign. Last time, under the Archonship of Senpoku Chilabili the Shield and her co-Archon, we expanded northward into the desert at great cost, but we managed to pull it off with the acquirement of two new tributaries who are going to be paying us a nice amount of money given the low quality of their land. And we also secured some low-quality land for ourselves with the conquest of Tichit up here in the middle of the uninhabitable desert. Now, last time I spent a long time being baffled by the capture of this tile with no war conclusion, no peace deal, and I'm still not 100% sure exactly what happened, but one person on the previous video did leave a helpful comment saying that they think that when you conquer sort of oasis tiles that are surrounded by uninhabitable and impassable terrain, the game just automatically captures it for you because there's no way to normally get it with any amount of control range. That does make sense based on my knowledge of how control range works, so I think that that's likely what's going on. So with no other explanation, I also tried to look up and see if there was some sort of explanation online somewhere. Of course, this being an obscure Imperator roam mechanic, no documentation anywhere on the internet, so I'm going to proceed assuming that that explanation is correct, which means if we can get into war with Chinguetti and Idjil, and in the future with some of these other desert oasis communities, we'll be able to slowly expand our diplomatic range northward. This may require us to be declared on, as happened with Tichit, but for now, I'm happy to not be in war for this episode because we have started the Archonship of Wati Tielabele, joined by Kaba Suwari. Now, in terms of the modifiers, we are looking at, well, let me start with Wati. 0, 7, 13, 7. That 13 in particular is going to be quite nice for that tyranny loss, 0.21 tyranny loss per month. That's definitely very needed right now. We have an enormous amount of tyranny, and we need to let this thing calm down a bit. The slave output, of course, does help our economy, and that is helping our strong economy right now for this 5-year period. And the AE change is nice, though at the moment we have no AE. But the loyalty of characters, the cohort loyalty gain, the threshold, these are all problems. They're not super severe problems. Minus 4.55 loyalty is manageable, though Arbunu is upset. We're going to deal with him in a moment. The main problem, though, with the tyranny, of course, is the effect on the Democrats, who are furious, minus 0.53 per month, largely due to the tyranny. So I will need to attend to my politics in just a moment. But alongside 0, 7, 13, 7 from Wati, we also have Kaba coming in with 8, 4, 10, 8. He is a traditionalist, and Wati, of course, is also a traditionalist. So the trads are in power in both seats, which they are pretty happy about. That's 0.04 per month from both of those seats. Now, on the national level, we are looking at 7 finesse, and this is coming, I believe, yes, from Wati. That's minus 7% build cost and plus 14% national commerce income for this Archonship. 7 is fine. Wish it was a little higher, but this is okay for now. 8 martial coming from Kaba, so that's going to really help with the lack of martial coming from Wati. So that's 8% increased manpower recovery speed and 8% increased army morale recovery. We're also looking at, of course, 13 charisma. This is, of course, coming from Wati. This is some of the highest charisma I've seen in this campaign. That's 2.60 increased claim fabrication speed, and more importantly, minus 0.13 monthly tyranny. Lastly, 8 zeal, and this is coming from Kaba as well, slightly better than Wati. We're looking at minus 0.08 monthly war exhaustion and plus 0.08 monthly stab change. Helpful to keep our high stability from collapsing back too quickly. We, of course, don't have Divine Sacrifices going because we have not had enough PI to do it yet, so once we do, we will, that's for sure. I want to keep my stability as high as possible to get those research points and the other modifiers. Incidentally, we are getting a very slight population growth bonus, along with the pop happiness bonus from stability. And because I can't move population into these oasis tiles because of the lack of sort of traversable tiles for the pops, or maybe it's because it's too far away, I'm not 100% sure. It might be that, but it's adjacent to a province that I have territory in, so not really sure offhand. It may just be disallowed, which is fine. If that's the case, we'll have to rely on local growth, and there is some growth here for sure, so that's handy. And this place is now trending positive, incredibly. I'm actually amazed this was pulled off. Tichet has calmed down a lot, mostly because the Freeman was previously a noble, demoted all the way down to Freeman. Now things are looking much better, though it needs to stay on harsh treatment for now. Anyways, we're getting distracted. Getting back to the year of Wati and Kaba. Wati, as a character, 37 years old, of course a traditionalist as mentioned earlier, is kindly, which the relevant parts is extra democratic conviction, not going to matter in this 5-year period. As the commander, slightly increased cohort loyalty gain chains plus 0.02, and as the ruler, plus 3% national freeman output. A truer soul there never was than Wati Tailability. Those freemen are going to be providing me some additional tax and manpower. Maybe not this freeman, but some of my other freemen will be doing that, so that's quite nice. Right. And then he's also silver-tongued. He's able to persuade characters, which we will see if we can do some of that this episode. Even the most skilled of diplomats would struggle to compare to Wati. That's plus 2 charisma, plus 15% Senate influence. The Freeman Great Winter Construction bonus is not going to be relevant. And as the ruler, plus 25% improve opinion maximum. Very nice. He's also harsh, so minus 0.05 monthly popularity, plus 0.05% monthly statesmanship. The slave Great Wonder Construction modifier doesn't matter. He also has slight oligarchic convictions from that plus 0.05. As the governor of Ghana, he'll be increasing slave output by 6%, and as the ruler, he's increasing national slave output by another 3%. While many would employ a mild punishment to fit a mild crime, Wati considers mild punishment a crime in itself. Characters with this trait are more likely to murder their way to the top. Lastly, he is a lunatic, minus 2 in martial and finesse, plus 2 in charisma and zeal, and minus 0.20 health as well. Wati Telebele is, in no uncertain terms, stark raving bonkers. Well, the health is a little annoying, but he is 37, he's considered healthy, and we also had an 80-year-old Otacon 2 episodes ago, so I think we will probably survive in this situation. He's also quite fertile. He and his wife, Kondolon Sawati, do have a number of children here, including 2. Actually, it's a pair of twins, which is interesting. I guess in real life, people who have twins are like more likely to then have more twins. Like it's kind of like you're genetically predisposed to have twins. But this is twins who are 21 years old, and then another pair of twins that are 4 years old. That's actually pretty rare. Let's go ahead and put him on a scheme influence right away. We have enough popularity to do this. It's going to be necessary. Right. Now let's take a look at his co-Otacon. This is Kaba Sawati. He is self-controlled for 1 extra zeal, slightly increased by 0.05 monthly trad conviction, and if he were the governor, minus 0.02% local population growth. A life of fulfillment seems to Kaba to lack all sense of purpose. He's also confident, plus 1 martial, minus 5 loyalty. Not great, but this guy is extremely loyal, so because he has free hands, so he is not going to be a problem co-Otacon likely. If he were the commander, plus 5% chariot discipline and plus 5% heavy cav discipline as well. Trusting one's instincts is the first step towards mastery. He's also merciful, plus 1 charisma. He actually has 10 charisma by himself, so that's quite nice. If we had a low charisma main Otacon, this 10 charisma would make me content for this being a recovery 5-year period, but we don't even need his 10 charisma. We've got the most charismatic man as the main Otacon. Minus 5% enslavement efficiency if you were leading an army, plus 0.05 monthly trad conviction. Again, we're seeing why he is a super duper traditionalist. If he were the governor, plus 8% local freeman happiness, and if he were the ruler, minus 0.05 monthly tyranny. In fact, this guy may have been better as the ruler for this trait specifically, for even more tyranny loss. This is similar in scale to the extra 3 charisma points, probably a little more actually. Mercy can take many forms, and Kaba knows them all. Lastly, he is frail, minus 1 martial, and minus 0.05% health. Frailty could be caused by any number of inherited ailments, would often affect an individual throughout their life, rendering them weaker than their peers and often more likely to contract further illnesses. Right, he is also healthy, though he is 49, so he's a bit of an older politician than his co-Otacon. He's also friends with my current augur. Now, we'll see if that augur remains current as I review my political situation. We're below Senate support, as we've been recently, but we're not that far below, and we have as last episode was the case as well, a leading plurality of trads. Oligarchs are second, and Democrats are slightly behind them. So fairly evenly split with the trads in control. I'm actually pretty happy with this arrangement as we get the Omen Power bonus, which of course we're going to assign, before I forget, to the Jackal for the Commerce bonus. No need to even really reflect on this one too much. That's going to bump us up to 10 gold per month. That's a good place to be. It can also decrease pay, which I, for some reason, did not have before. Perhaps an oversight from last episode. We're not in a war or anything, so there's no need to have any army maintenance. And this did rebalance, but it will rebalance further as I change more things, so never fear. Could also do harsh taxation, but I don't think that's necessary. We're not above our max efficiency, and if I were, I would consider doing it, but we're not quite there. Being able to get to our max efficiency to then be able to do harsh taxation is one nice side effect of having really good research. You can then trade some of that research for extra money. But yeah, lax taxes is out of the question. I continue to think that export value is a better deal than import value or more trade routes. I don't have enough access to things to even have all my trade routes used, but I will eventually continue reaching into the northern markets where more people have surpluses, as these are larger, typically larger tags that may have access to multiple copies. Now, there's plenty of resources in West Africa. The problem is that most of these tags don't have enough surplus to justify trading, or they only have a +1 surplus, and then they want to keep the bonus for themselves. So as nations begin to blob, they're going to be more willing to trade off their excess goods. So watching some of our neighbors become stronger will improve our commerce economy, oddly enough. But that's how this game works with the commerce economy system. Playing as a larger nation just makes you likelier as an AI, and really as a player as well, to export your goods as opposed to keeping them for yourself. Right, getting back to it. So with the trads in control, we have the Omen Power plus 10% as noted before, and in terms of the approval, oligarchs are currently trending up because there's great for families and they like our tyranny. That's another reason we've tended to have good oligarch approval. I think we need to take some actions here to try and turn this thing around. Democrats have enough control that I don't think I'm comfortable just tanking their approval. That's why we're below that 51% threshold. Let's get to work. Now, I think I probably need to do a big character re-swap again. We also lost our magistrate, and we didn't lose a governor this time, thankfully. Let me check my researchers. I think I have really good researchers right now, yeah. I do. Okay. Let's go ahead and replace everybody. Let me test this. Okay, I can't get free hands after I revoke it. That's what I thought. Oh, hold on. I need to give him free hands again to... Yeah. All right. I didn't realize it would take him below the threshold there. Whoops. Okay, let me fire this guy. Make sure I'm not having that happen again. Bit of a mishap. So that guy, I won't be able to revoke free hands again. So let's, or not for a little while. So let's be careful about that. Revoke free hands. There we go. Just so I'm not having characters with free hands lingering around with no purpose for it. Okay, so I guess the question would be, do I keep all the same researchers? Probably. There is a better Sankata character with better marshals, so I think I may switch her in. I could also go for a family head so that we control their loyalty. Alright, let me bring in... Oh, hold on, we have a Sankata governor, don't we? No, that's a Sawadi character. Hold on, let me look at it like this. Okay, yeah, so the governor of Songhay is a Sankata, Sawadi for Sahara, and Isawagan for Jene. I don't really want to move any of these. These are all good characters for their positions. I don't really want to mess around with that, so that's a lot of PI to change the policies. So let's keep them all there. With that in mind, that should actually be all of the family. Okay, so the only family that's above is Sawadi, who I was stacking last time. I could stack them again, and try to therefore limit the number of grateful families. Let's actually see, by the way, how do the parties feel? Democrats are more mad, so that's, this is not calculating. Yeah, I mean, 0.14, is that really true for the one family? All right, let me fire the Sawadi character to verify that that is a true. Let me just replace them there. I'm suspicious. Okay. I guess it was for one family, maybe. Alright, so with no grateful families, Democrats are still at minus 0.48. That's pretty unsustainable, to say the least. They want Assembly of Citizens. What's that going to be? Okay, so this is monthly tyranny loss, which wouldn't be terrible. Only 0.02, though, is not very good. I much prefer the PI bonus and the War Council, which I can do in 6 days. The trads also like me adopting this, which is interesting, even though the Democrats want me to adopt it. So I'd lose 5 approval, and then I'd gain 10 approval from doing that. Which means I would actually just be gaining 5 approval. But I'd also be gaining 5 approval for the hold on. Gaining 5 approval for the trads. Okay, so that's actually, that is still a good trade-off. So it'd be +5 and +5, so +10 total. But I'd lose the PI bonus. But I would gain the tyranny loss bonus. But I'd also gain tyranny for doing this without Senate support. Let me potentially, well, I don't have the PI anyways, but let me potentially do this after other actions that improve Senate support. Alright, so I think we need to go for a, I guess the question would be, are the Swatis still the best family to stack like this? I did them last time. At least I believe it was them last time. It was a little bit since I played the last time. If we go for the Tielebelis again, so we got Kondolana and Sempoko are both pretty good. Let me check like this. Actually, let me first figure out, is there anybody better that would be all from the same family? So it's 10 and 11. Sakata, okay. Let me go ahead and fire my researchers too, and that way I can start with just the governor positions in mind. Show families. Okay, so we have an Isawagan governor, a Sawadi governor, and a Sankara governor. How do the Democrats feel now? Minus 0.03 with everyone being scorned. Scorned families is going to be a lot to ask, because then it's going to reduce the loyalty, which will affect my PI gain for officers. Unless I only put families that are not scorned in the officer positions, which I guess I could approach it like that. Adabunu is very mad. I'll have to deal with him in a moment. He's the rival of Lati, which doesn't help, but I will figure out a way to deal with that in a moment. Also, incidentally, our expected next Adakons are Sigiri Sawadi and Jaruru Tielabele, which would be a double Democrat Adakonship. That's interesting. We'll come back to that. Okay, so let me start with the... Let me start like this. So, Sankara... Let's see, we have a really... Layla Sankara is really good at either oratory or martial, so we have a good martial Sankara. Isawakan 11 is so good. 10, though, for Sankara. Sankara. Any Sankaras that are good? No, not really. I guess I can do... I can lose one family as scorned and still mostly focus on the Sankaras. Let me try this with the Sankaras. Alright, so I'm gonna save her for oratory. You with your 9. And he's also a polymath. I'm not sure if classical rework if these traits work, but I guess we'll see if this does have an effect. Alright, so Wedreago Sankara. The trait's not displaying, so I don't think it works, but we'll see. Okay. 10 on Badi. For oratory, obviously Layla Sankara. For religious, let's see. We have one Suwadi who's the governor. So let's see. Let me go for 10 for the Buanu character. What's everyone's? Okay. Make sure no one has free hands. I want to avoid wage inflation. I have pretty manageable wages so far, I guess. Like I'm being a little over careful about this, but I've had campaigns before where wage inflation has like destroyed my economy after enough time, so I need to be careful. Okay. Having done that, at this point, I think the idea is going to be, can I essentially now just have Sankata characters and minor characters and keep 2 families scorned, because 2 scorned families will limit the oh my god, minus 0.33 with 2 scorned families is absurd. But as long as the grateful family modifier is not scaling as the gratefulness increases, which it doesn't seem to be, this will be a good, yeah, because it must be 14.5 because it's rounding up with scorned families. So this should be manageable. All right. Already missing a lot of all right. 9 charisma is pretty good. Grateful family, okay, good. Having a grateful family be in all the offices will also give me more loyalty to work with. All right. Is this going to help the Democrats a little bit? No. Actually, is it? Apparently it is this time. Okay, this sometimes doesn't seem to work, but sometimes it does work. Okay, national tax. Okay, King of Sankata. Here's the family head. Let me make her the researcher, because her loyalty may be harder to man. 91 loyalty, that was pretty good. This guy's gonna be even better. Okay, so more Sankata characters. Alright, Omen Power, let's go with anybody. Okay, 7 on Omen Power. It's really not great. This guy does have a lot of statesmanship because I was using him previously. Gane Isawagan. Not of the Isawagan family, but a minor Isawagan. 15%, I'm fine with that. Yeah, some of these characters don't have a lot of statesmanship built up. Monthly civ change. Actually, monthly military experience is more important. Okay, we'll go to Moko. We've used him before. His loyalty is not very good. Yeah, that might be a problem. I just don't have a lot of options here. Okay, this is with free hands. Oh my god. Okay, maybe I don't assign this guy. 7 is just slightly worse, and this guy does have some statesmanship. Okay. Civ change. Let's see. 5, is that really the best I'm gonna get? This is still so severe. It's the tyranny is destroying Democrat approval of me. Yeah, I can't push it any further. We are dealing with some real support problems. I'm gonna have to start doing, I think I have to do some smearing. I really wanted to avoid smearing because it's not super efficient on tyranny especially. But smearing may be necessary to increase approval. I mean, with the tyranny gain, I don't think it's going to be worth it for Democrat management because they're going to be upset about the tyranny gain. Okay. This will have to do. It's a pretty minor modifier, all things considered. I have to be in damage control right now. AE change doesn't really matter right now, so I can assign that to someone kind of not as good. Okay, Hawa Sankata is actually pretty good. Also, 100 loyalty from her. So yeah, let me just assign for someone with, like, really good loyalty. Or, not him. Okay, you're actually pretty good. And then for Physician, let's just find someone who's a minor character who's going to give me loyalty. Okay, Fatim Sankata, that's fine. Okay, and now, free hands. You actually have 100 already, so no free hands for you. Slightly inefficient. But you know, giving free hands makes me lose approval with the trads and gain approval with the Democrats, for her at least. That's good to notice. I think I've been overlooking this previously when I've been giving free hands. But this is a trade-off that I think is, well, it's good in theory. Trads have more power, but I need to get Democrat approval right now. Is it because, yeah, it's because she's a Democrat. Okay, so it's when I give free hands to Democrats that the Democrats like it and the trads dislike it. But with the trad, they're fine with it. I can also pay PI instead of personal gold through persuading. Okay. This is too high. Free hands would be inefficient. This is low enough that it's worth it. And I want to pay, even though paying PI is more reliable than personal gold, I'm not paying PI for loyalty. That's not worth it. Not in this context. Okay. Another loss because the trads are powerful, but they're going to gain up really quick, right? Because the trads are going to like that I'm at peace. Okay. Now, with all of these actions, I'm at 2.48 PI, and that's with Scheme Influence going. Ruler Corruption. Is that so? I don't know about that. Maybe that's going to update. Okay, so now I can't do any diplomatic actions right now. I'm going to lose way too much. I'm going to gain way too much tyranny. Trads are at 0, obviously. They may force me to do directed investments in Kura. I don't remember if this is what they wanted me to do before, but let me find. Oh, here it is. Directed investments. Which investment specifically are we talking about? Just any investment? Directed investment. Business investment? Is that what they want? Alright, it's 80 PI, so I'm not going to be able to do it. They may force me to do it, and we'll deal with that at that point. But okay, so the oligarchs are really happy. Trads are completely furious, but they're increasing the most. Democrats are decreasing briskly, but they're now a little happier. Okay. Yeah, so Grateful Families is not scaling for the Democrat approval, which is good. This is super tricky. Okay. Having done that, anything else I can do to get more trad approval? Not really. Okay, now Arabunu. Okay, so Sanpoko and Arabunu are both upset now. She's just barely below the threshold, was the problem. Revoked free hands. Okay. I wish I could do bribe or persuade. I don't want to spend PI to get loyalty with her. We also don't have a civil war. We're actually kind of getting there, but we're not there yet. So let's just chill out. She's gonna regain from having her revoked hands fairly quickly. Adabunu is a bit more of a problem, being the party leader. I guess one thing I could also do holding micro to get approval as well. It may make sense to trade approval from the Dems and the oligarchs. Oligarchs are still stronger. That's the issue, though, is that they are still stronger. So it wouldn't actually be a net positive for me right now. It would also lower individual character loyalty. Here's the thing, right? Okay, so I could grant 5 holdings to get 10 approval, and each holding grant would also get me approval and lose me with the oligarchs and lose me Democrat approval. Or then it's like if I revoke a bunch of holdings, then I grant a bunch of holdings, because granting holdings gives me Democrat disapproval. So it's not worth it to try to mess around with holdings, and it's going to be extremely expensive to do all that. I could reward Adbunu's veterans to reduce his power base. He does have a little bit of veteran base. It's not very much, though. It's barely anything. As usual, family head is way oversized for power base. I could try to assassinate. He's the rival of my guy. I mean, that's the main thing, really, is the rivalry. I could unrival him from my side. Can I? I guess I can't unrival him. Oh, I can. It's over here. Oh, actually, that's going to stop him from seeing me as a rival, which would actually still accomplish this. Rival of ruler is -10, so this would bring him up to 33. If I start to have power-based problems with Civil War, I may have to do that, but 30 PI is absurd. I don't really want to do that. Okay, so having done all that, we're at 9.82, so that's a bit better. And that's with extra wages, we should remember. Let me check and see what the corruption... I may be able to decrease wages to really focus on this being an economic episode. Let's see what the corruption situation is. Okay, it's not actually very bad. All these characters have set 10 corruption, and everyone below that is... There are some characters in offices. I think I can probably get away with doing normal wages. This will save me a little bit of money. I'm gonna do it. We're going economic here. We're gonna have some corruption gain, but it will only be for 5 years, then we can try to recover later. I mean, that's how economic planning really is. You're thinking about how much can I damage my future self with short-term gain. But I really want to focus on leaning into the economic bonuses I have right now, so just increase our wages as much as possible. Not to mention, over here, we're still waiting on Settle Timbuktu. We have the city under construction in Tiabu. Of course, last time we built a city in Gondam. And then after this, we're going to need no free building slots, so we need to start building buildings out here. With the dyes, that's a pretty valuable resource. Having some production here could be quite good. I may want to move some slaves over from Timbuktu. Most of the slaves I moved to Timbuktu have now promoted. I should do some slave micro in general. I could also build a... I mean, I could do a holy site over here once I have the resources for it, or in Tiabu. But I think I'd rather save the holy sites for other locations, as there are some other good areas that I want to be part of my core eventually, such as the Songhai River area. There's some good land over there. Okay. Also, I should keep the fort at Tichit. I could do some fort pruning. Fort at Handu feels necessary still. Okay, down here, is the Dia and Segu, are these two forts both required still? The Segu fort does protect Dia thanks to the impassable terrain. Dia will eventually be a city, but it won't be a city super soon, so I could destroy this fort to save some money, but then I just have to rebuild it later, so I'm not really sure that's actually the right way to handle this. Also, this place is ready to switch off of harsh treatment. I'm actually do a quick province review here, so well, we're just looking at Gen A. I think I will switch this off. This will cost more tyranny and cost PI, but this place I think is ready to start assimilating. Actually, no, this is Bozo. I don't need to do assimilation here. Well, 78%, I do probably want to do some assimilation, but I don't think it's enough to justify switching the entire province over to that. It's mostly Sigurwick. I think with these numbers, I'm content to let this just assimilate and convert on its own. I think what I want to do is switch this over probably to acquisition of wealth for more value. Borderlands are going to be more manpower. I've got plenty of manpower room. I don't need manpower right now. Leave them dry is out of the question. Encourage trades, probably not necessary. All of the taxes here are not very good, but hold on. I can also try to centralize people into the province capital. Migration attraction. What's the movement like right now? It's pretty low. It's mostly because of migration. It's mostly because of harsh treatment. We have a number of migrations coming in. They're fairly brisk. This would speed it up a little bit. A lot of these tiles out here are not very productive. I think acquisition of wealth is the most sensible approach, where it's going to likely give me a small economic outcome. I could also go for social mobility. These are all bozos, or these are mostly bozos. I guess the question is also, do I keep the fort at Segu? This forest fort. I don't remember why I kept this fort before. I may have been thinking about it acting as the borderland fort. This has really good coverage, but this fort here is not really protecting anything, and if I'm attacked from the south, I'll just beat them with my army or with mercenaries. I don't really need this area protected like this, zone coverage-wise. I think I'm going to destroy this fort. That made me some money and improved my economy a little bit. Okay. Any other forts I should reconsider? I think Houndu should stay a fort. Although Tiabu is going to become a fort soon, as it'll have a city on it, although it may be protected sufficiently. In fact, it would be protected sufficiently from the Houndu fort. I think Houndu staying a fort feels correct, because this is going to be my city in Kura. Definitely going to be my city in Kura. Okay, let's see. I kept a number of buildings out here. I want to verify that these are still valuable for me. So, let's just go province by province. We've done our politics setup for this episode, but now it's some provincial review. We're 20 years in. Okay, so in Dia, we've got the fort. We've got entirely bozos over here. That's fine. Marsh of Corienza. We've got no building. We've got one who is not assimilating. There's no local assimilation here. Okay. I'll have to leave that for now. Right over here in Gene, we have mostly bozos with some little bit of diversity, a little bit of assimilation here. Okay. Canon. Mostly bozos, a little bit of diversity. And here we have a legation, so this assimilation area. This should be assimilating fairly quick. It is, okay. Okay, Suma, or I mean Sum. Little bit of diversity, not that much. Okay. Do I keep the legation here is the question. I think for the modifier it's providing, I don't think it's worth it now that I'm really focusing on economy. I need to reinvest this money somewhere else. I think it was fine to keep it up until now to help with assimilating, but at this point I need to reinvest into my core, get my economy up and running. The mine here obviously stays, so I built that mine myself. I need to move some slaves down here. Alright, I already know that I can't reach vegetables, but just to be thorough, let's check. Not even an option. Alright, well. That's what I get for playing out here. Okay. I'm going to need 10 slaves for this copy of gold, so getting an extra gold copy is definitely worth it. Yeah. Okay, so I have 2 slaves right now. Let's disallow slave promotion. I probably should have done that earlier, but that's fine. Okay, let's move from places that are... Let's also move any non-bozo characters, especially. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, that's our second copy of gold. 13 of 16. Slave promotion is disallowed. Perfect. Okay. Now Segu does not need all this population. It's a forest. I need these pops to redistribute. Forest out here. These pops should really be redistributing. What do we have here? We have a mine here as well. Base metals is not that valuable, so I may hold off on slave micro for that. We'll come back to that later. We have a farm here for extra grain. I really should sell the grain. Well, 12 slaves. Let me check and see if there's any more gold tiles nearby. I don't think there are around here. Okay, there is a gold tile up here that is already filled, so that's fine. Gold up here in Timbuktu, so that's not going to really work like that. Then we got gold up here that's filled. We're already working all of our gold tiles correctly. In fact, this place has a lot of slaves. I could move some of them away, potentially. Okay, so with that noted, I need to build the buildings too, so I don't want to go too crazy with a long-term setup here. Base metals, let me remind myself, how much are base metals selling for? Base metals, where are they? 0.35. I think that's valuable enough. I don't know about grain with 0.3, but 0.35, I mean, grain is valuable, but I think base metals are worth it to act, especially because I have the mine built already. Okay, I'm going to need 12 total. Let's just see if we can just about pull that off. Let's keep some in Dios to promote up, but move slaves from elsewhere in the countryside. Alright. Except for from the gold mine, obviously. Okay, we can just get to 12, or actually we need 10 now, apparently. Okay, we'll move the rest from Dia. Alright, that's our next copy of base metals. Disallow promotion here. Alright, so let's sell those things. Alright, the grain will wait. I don't have enough slaves around here to work with. Do I? No, I don't. I definitely don't have enough slaves around here to work with. Yeah, not for 12. We'll come back to the grain. I will keep this as a farm tile, because this plains location isn't good for a city. Nothing else I'd want to build here instead. Okay, and with all that done, let's now improve Gene's economy. So 11.58, let's see how this changes things. Let's go for, I think acquisition of wealth is probably the best option here. I mean, I'll be exporting gold and base metal, so province commerce might be a little better than local tax. It's hard to tell while I'm on governor policy, or I mean while I'm on harsh treatment, because it's reducing output so much. It's sort of hard to tell. These guys are bozo, and religiously, they are mostly wrong religion. I guess... Oh yeah, right. Sigawik is the wrong religion, that's right. I think I said before that it was the right religion. Maybe I should move this on to religious conversion. This would improve the economy by getting off of harsh treatment. Yeah, converting this place is probably worth my time. It's fairly slow without religious conversion. All right, with the culture being 70% bozo, I think I'm comfortable making it religious conversion, but do I prefer the economy bonus? I think I need to convert this place. Let's go to religious conversion. Now it's slightly trending down. This is manageable. Let's see how quick the conversion is. 2.47. That's good. That's going to be around 2.47 is 20 months, something like that. So we're going to see 1 or 2 rounds of conversion in this episode, likely. That'll make the population happier, which will improve the output. The economy did improve, as I expected. 11.72. And if we start selling those trade goods, so we went up about 2.2 gold, and we're going to make a bit more gold once we start selling the trade goods. Okay. All right, moving on further. Let's go up to Mema. We only have a couple tiles here. The farm is in Mema. Then we have vegetable farm. Actually, this is a provincial legation. It's still working on assimilating. I could keep it here. Oh, hold on, wait, no. What do I have here? Pop simulation speed. Oh, there it is, provincial legation. It's pretty minor, but it's still pretty slow. This is probably fine to keep here. I mean, it's mostly converting slaves. What do we have out here? A farm for grain and nothing out here in Ghana itself. Okay. This place here is pretty happy. It is mostly, yeah, it's all wrong culture, and it's mostly great religion. So this place should be cultural assimilation. I don't think I changed it before because I didn't consider it valuable enough to change with only 4 tiles, which is probably still my assessment. I need to save my one last use of a governor policy change for a more important province than this. Up here, Esakane is the same thing. It's, well, encouraged trade's okay. I don't think I have any exports coming from here right now. In fact, I'm sure that I don't. Any unique building situations? We have tribal settlement up here. That's probably not worthwhile to keep. Let me get some money from that. And then the rest of it we'll just leave. Encouraged trade is fine. I don't really see a reason to change it. Okay, up here in Titchit, obviously things need to probably stay on harsh treatment. Things are getting better though, and I could possibly switch over to local autonomy. At this rate, I think I want to keep it. Is this guy going to demote for? He is demoting to a slave. That's going to help a lot with the situation there. So maybe once he demotes, I switch this. When's this happening? Let me check back maybe at the end of the year, and I may switch this over. Now, because Titchit is unconnected to anything, I need to keep this place fortified so barbs don't take it and like destroy it or like do something weird. I need to be careful. I need to also have my army kind of ready to run over to protect Titchit from any barb attacks, so need to keep an eye on that, or any war declarations. It'll be a race to come relieve a siege of Titchit, so yeah. In fact, with that in mind, it might be necessary to keep fort maintenance on because of Titchit specifically. But, well, that's acceptable. I think that's an acceptable difference in value. This also protects me from barbs more generally, so it's a little bit of an expense, but I think it is worthwhile to keep Titchit protected specifically because of the weird way Titchit works. I'm not going to see barbs coming until they're right there, so if I lose Titchit, I might like be unable to get it again. So just out of an abundance of caution, we're gaining access to the north with Titchit, so I'm going to protect it with my money. Okay, let me actually end with Timbuktu. Let me go over to Kura next. All right, so in Kura, let me just do a quick review of things. It is 71% bozo, so it would benefit from some assimilation. No buildings around here except for the fort of Handu, which I'm going to keep this fort. I'm pretty sure I should keep this fort. Yeah, I should keep this fort. other than that, it's on governor policy, acquisition wealth. I think I'm going to keep it like that for now. This place does have, I believe, some exports coming out. Let's see, cloth and grain. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep this as it is. Over here in Diaphanu, this place is on assimilation. This is manageable. Yeah, this needs to stay on assimilation. It's mostly Bidaic. I do appreciate, by the way, in this campaign, how there's a genuine diversity of both mixed cultures and mixed religion around here. Normally, you don't really encounter either. You don't normally encounter both of them a lot of the time, but here, I'm actually having to balance cultural assimilation and religious conversion. Nice to see that. All right, what do we have here? Tribal settlement. This is not necessary. Let's get rid of that for more money. Mine for gold. I'm gonna. We already stacked that, so that's fine. Okay. So this stays the same. So let's finish off in Timbuktu. So currently it's on encourage trade, which probably is. It's hard to say. So the question is the commerce value of this superior to the tax bonus from this? We're looking at a 12% commerce difference. The food is not a consideration at all. We're completely fine on food. Or do I even do something more interesting like social mobility? Social mobility would help fill out Timbuktu's upper classes a bit. I mean, we have a little bit more ratio to go. We're actually above our ratio on freemen and below it on slaves. So we're hitting the upper limits of that. We just need more population in Timbuktu. In fact, I might move some slaves over, to be completely honest. We've got plenty of room. Let me do that. Let me move some slaves over from some tiles that don't need all this population. Bidaic bozos is fine because they're going to be able to promote nice and quickly. Again, it is costing me a little bit of money, but I think this is worthwhile to fill out Timbuktu. Maybe bring it up to 35. And let me move some population to Gaondong as well. This place needs more population for sure. Also, this place, let's see. If I had 18 slaves, I could get another copy of gold from Timbuktu. I don't think that's going to be very sustainable. I want the slaves to promote, although having lots of slaves here would be nice for the extra gold. I want the slaves to be promoting to give me more upper class pops. All right, let's not move them from Tiabo. We probably want to move slaves to later. Let's move bozo slaves over most of all. It's not from Mata, which I have gold coming from. Okay. Let's just move whoever we can kind of manage to get. All right, Bongu has all these pops. I don't need them to be there. That's really it. Okay, so 8 pops here is fine for now. This place doesn't have the infrastructure to really make the most of them. What's the promotion like out here? There's no promotion currently. There will be promotion later, though. I think the commerce bonus is probably stronger than the tax bonus would be. Very likely. Yeah, just looking at these numbers here. Yeah, commerce is going to be stronger than tax with this setup right now. As the cities grow and develop, the tax will improve, but for now, commerce is stronger. So we keep this on encourage trade. I mean, just look at the numbers. Our commerce economy is roaring. It's really getting pretty good. And let's see. So we keep that there. I guess saving some PI is nice. Now do I start doing some buildings? I have a little bit of money left. What do I want here? We do have double dies here, which is great. I probably want to do the same setup as in Timbuktu. Maybe it's too complicated here. Academies, ports of law. Oh, we have one more building slot now too. I can build one more port of law in Timbuktu, but I have no reason to do that while I need to complete the mission. So let me come back to that later. Let's see. Library would be cheaper. I could build 2 libraries here. This would be cheaper. It's yeah, it's like 50-60% cheaper. I could even do both of them right now. And these are both still good buildings here for the research bonuses. Even though I wouldn't be getting the desired ratio. With so little population, desired ratio is not going to be a huge deal quite yet. But populations will grow. I'll get more slaves in the future I can move in as well. It's tough to say. Getting the academies here would really be the winning move to get myself some noble ratio, and hopefully some promotion as well. With my current economy, I can probably justify 2 academies. Let me build one now, and then we can proceed. Once I make sure I've done everything else I need to do. I don't think there's anything enough that I... Oh, hold on. Oh no, that's the gold that I'm producing. I'm going to sell that gold. Okay. This food problem's up here, but it is going to improve. Okay, now I could potentially consider changing the Titchit policy after all. I don't think I can go to local autonomy. I think it's going to trend back down, and demoting that guy to a slave is nice. So let me leave that alone. Okay, so now the question would be, do I pass the law? So this would be a net 10 gain. The issue though is I'm going to gain tyranny by doing this. So the problem is all of my actions to improve Democrat approval also cost me tyranny. So changing the law gives me tyranny, which then lowers the approval rate even though I gain base approval. Doing smearing would cost me tyranny. Cost me 2 tyranny, which is a bit less. But the issue is, I probably want to... Yeah, oligarchs would be the best to smear. This would give me approval with the trads and the Democrats. Getting trad approval is probably going to be my best hope to salvage this whole situation. This should overall give me more approval than I lose. Actually, I'm not sure that it will, given the numbers. This is not a clear way to get more approval. I think I just need to let things trend back up. Or I need the... What I really need... Weirdly, I need the trads to force the investment agenda so I can then agree to do it and go into negatives on PI. I can't afford to do this for a long time. But this will give me flat approval with them with no downside with anybody else. I think I just have to proceed in my current situation. I have no other option here. Okay. I think we're good to go ahead and get going here. Let's let me double check here. This will be 5th of January for the War Council. So let's go ahead and do this on the 5th of January just so we're keeping on track. I guess I could wait another 5 or 10 years so that this goes back to being on the 1st of January. I don't know if it really is a huge deal to do it like that. 5 days within the month doesn't really effectively delay possible beginning of decade wars based on these. But I would prefer to have it be on the first day so I can plan around it. I don't really feel like I have the strength to do a war right now. A war that would be meaningful. Let me consider my possible targets here. So this could select Kita, Bamako, Audien. It wouldn't select Sana. I'm not their neighbor. I do still have CBs on the guys that are my tributaries now, or could select Chabadia. This is my preferred target because this would let me secure this tile of Diafunu. And let me progress further into Songhai, potentially. I don't think I really want to expand that much right now. I think I want to focus on reinvesting. I have a strong economic base that I need to continue putting resources into. I don't think one of these wars would be... Also, the tyranny is a problem. I think I'm going to purposely miss the War Council and wait for either 175 or 180 to do it. And then the question would be, do I then potentially do Assembly of Citizens? I think with the tyranny gain I'd get right now, I shouldn't do it now if I'm going to do it. And I like the PI bonus, so I think I keep all that. I think we probably shouldn't do any actions that require Senate approval while we're this low. Let's go ahead and proceed on speed 3 after all of that yapping. Let's go for it. Immediately a minor addendum. Ghana Isawagan has suggested a small addendum to an often referenced law pertaining to the rights of the common folk. It should only be a small effort to push this through the assembly. Let's go ahead and grab 6 stability for 10 PI. I'm glad I have some PI free for this. That is worthwhile for sure. On we go. fire! News reached us this morning that the entire estate of Layla Sankara is a particularly good friend of Arakan Wati, burned to the ground last night in a terrible fire. She approaches Wati now in confidence, asking for state funds to restore her estate to former glory. Okay, so 5 corruption is pretty bad, and I don't have increased wages to lose it faster. However, 5 approval from oligarchs could be good. I mean, with negative trend, this would actually... I'd lose out on 0.19 because I'd be going from 95.19 to 100. But this would increase my Senate support slightly, and this is trending down, so getting approval is good. Loyalty on her is completely useless. I could stop being friends with her. I could rival her and gain a bunch of money and gain tyranny. This is interesting. Now, I just talked about how much I don't want to gain tyranny, but 3 tyranny for about 140 gold is honestly worth it. Rivaling her isn't exactly what I'd want to do. With the gold, I could then get the second building queued, but I have a good enough economy. I don't think this is worthwhile for the rivaling, honestly. Like, I don't want the loyalty loss on an officer. That's PI that I'm losing, which is more valuable than gold. This guy would trend down. What would 5 corruption do for his region? It would affect local loyalty. It wouldn't affect the economy. All right, anything for a friend of Wati. All right, now we're at 40. Let's check and see what this is doing. Yeah, governor corruption doesn't affect the economy. And yeah, things are okay. It's not even calculating, so I think we're fine. All right, I think that was the right call to make. The gold was definitely tempting, but I don't think I can justify more tyranny gain, and especially the loyalty loss on an officer. That would affect my PI too much. Okay, very good. There are all of the gold requesters coming in. Trade with these guys way out here, sure. Trade with these guys way out here. Benin. Okay, that should bring us up to 12.66. Very good. Commerce economy is going strong. 11.34 just from the commerce. That's pretty good. The ruler corruption does affect PI, which I definitely should be considering. Can't do too much about that now. I could increase wages. That would lose it faster, but I'm only going to have this guy for 5 years. Above 2 is still like the minimum I want to maintain, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay. Yeah, with this gain, I'm comfortable letting it just climb back up, or I mean climb up for the first time. February of next year, so that's going to be March 1st likely, because of the way that calculates. Okay. The barbs are destroying my vassal over here. Okay. Not great, but I'm not going to help them. Sorry, Niara. I don't care about your survival. Also, these are barbs that I paid off, so they're attacking my subject. I feel like the barbs should respect my subject as an extension of me, but you know, it is what it is. Barbs are coming in. 5 barbs, really? Is this what even is this barbarian army? Like, what is this barbarian like friend group over here? All right, they're gonna die to attrition. I'm not even. My eyes won't even look at the military tab to open my levy. Okay, they're gaining population slightly, but I'm not too concerned. This shouldn't be affecting the tile very severely. I think we're fine. I can also build a library as the second building instead of another academy. Academy would be better, but it would be cheaper. I need to build 3 buildings. I need to build 2 buildings into... Well, no, I need to build 3 buildings. I don't have a fort here yet, so I will need to build some buildings over here as well. So I need to save as much money as possible. This will give me pop growth in Timbuktu, the province or the nation? The city. Okay, the city gains flourishing. Okay. Profit investment. Academy is done. Okay. And now the question would be, Alright, pretty quick promotion. 15.50% is nice and brisk. No need to modify that. Is it worth it to wait and build another academy? In the long term, this is better, but I would also have the library anyways. Library won't currently do anything because it's going to be providing research. I mean, it would provide Civ and pop conversion. I mean, Civ level and pop conversion. There's, no one here is wrong religion, though. I think I should probably wait and build the academy as well. That being said, let me build the library. I want to move through this mission as fast as possible. I will eventually build both buildings anyways, so no need to be too worried. This will eventually have more building slots, and I will build all the academies once I have the room for it. I could even build all three if I wanted to. All right, this friend group has dwindled, like they often do. Incendiary slave speaks in Gaondam. A hot-headed slave with a talent for oration by the name of Wendrago has been stirring up his fellow bondsmen in Gaondam. Incidentally, don't I have a character named Wendrago, like a governor character? I mean, it's using the same name selection as all of my cultures, so it's not really a huge surprise. That name sounds familiar, though. Wendrago. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The local authorities have so far managed to keep the situation under control, but the Brazen Fool continues to hold forth on the corruption and unfairness of the political system, which Wati Tielebele receiving honorable mentions, or with Wati Tielebele receiving honorable mentions. The slave population of the entire province of Timbuktu has by now heard of his exploits, and the city elites and the slave owners are demanding immediate action to ensure the status quo is not disturbed further, and any slave rebellion is crushed before it is allowed to ferment. Okay. I could kill a Sononike slave in Gaondam, which would be fine. I spent 5 gold to move him there, but this would also reduce local slave happiness, which is fine. 3 tyranny, I'm not so sure about that part. 5 stabilities, no. This will also lead to other events, potentially. Province of Timbuktu would gain 5% local happiness. That should... I have pretty good happiness in the province, though. I don't think this would be a huge deal. I think dividing the group is the least bad option. Slave output in Timbuktu. This would have an effect, though. I prefer slave happiness to be affected. Alright, round up the troublemaker and his supporters and crucify them. Timbuktu could handle any amount of unrest because it's the capital province, but the output would affect my economy. This will kill slave, and the 3 tyranny is painful, but it's... What would you have me do? Alright, I'm just gonna leave that. Any more trade routes yet? I can still buy my own grain. I want someone else to buy it. That would be preferable. Trads are increasing nice and quickly now. That's pretty good. I like the high stability a lot. Okay, that's perfect. All right, this is trending up nice and quickly. This is all manageable. Yeah, this is all manageable. They don't. The Democrats don't like my main Otacon's corruption either. Yeah. This campaign has really like driven home to me how tightly like balanced republics are in vanilla Imperator Rome in ways that I often feel are not obvious on the surface. So this has been pretty interesting for sure. I've historically played monarchies much more and tribes much more than republics, so this is interesting to get this kind of experience. All right, looking good. How's my score doing? We are number 13 in the world. Okay. Parava is the best. Interesting. What's going on in the world, by the way? Well, there's Parava. We got Big Bactria. Interesting. This is Bactrian Bactria as well. Persia has not really made much of a splash yet. Chaldeans and Media are doing great. Lydia is doing fine. Egypt is beating Chaldean Empire in a big war. Egypt and Medo are both huge. We've got Tuscia. It's been formed. The Romans are gone. Interesting. So this is a Roman-free alt history now. Okay. Still one of the most interesting parts of this entire situation. But yeah, Ruma has been renamed. Okay. And then over here, we've got no Macedon to be found. What's happening in Greece? Athens is in charge of Attica. Okay, Sparta is doing fine. Any other funny Greek happenings? Chalcius has conquered Boea. Nothing else too notable, I don't think. Okay. And then how's Carthage doing? Carthage is not doing very well. They're allied with Byzantium, which is probably what's keeping them alive, honestly. Byzantium, bizarrely, has risen to be this great power over here. Carthage does have their Mediterranean holdings fairly locked down, though they're not quite as strong as they probably could have been. Pretty interesting stuff. We shall see how that affects the game long term. Alright, library in Gaundam is done. That means that we now just need the city construction over here to finish next year, and then we need to build the buildings over there. Now, I could start building a fort, which I think would continue once it became a city, and I would want a fort here as it's a city. Though with the forts around it, I don't think I need a fort here, so I think what I'll do is I'll wait till it finishes becoming... Actually, I can't even build anything because it's having a city built right now. I'm fairly sure, at least. So, never mind. We'll let it finish becoming a city this year. Okay. Support is climbing up. I'm feeling pretty good about this. If the trads push for investment, I will likely do it just to get my support finally above 51. Even though I would lose all my PI, because I don't want to lose like 50 trad approval and bring it back down to 0. The funny thing is that I've had, here it is, coming to the city of Tiabu. I've had trad autocons for a little bit now, and I've not really been playing in a way that the trads approve of, so I've had high trad control and low trad approval. Like, that's the main reason I've had support problems. Back when the oligarchs were in charge and were super powerful, I had tons of support because they liked my evil ways. Coming of the city of Tiabu, our extension of new privileges and investments in the local infrastructure have seen Tiabu grow from relative humility into a true bozo city. While it still has some way to go before it can rival the great cities of our age, the past years have ushered in a new era of growth and urbanization in this territory. Produces papyrus. That's pretty good. Get double papyrus here. Okay, wow. That is CivTech investment bonus right there. Okay. I will take that. All right, now I think I'm going to go ahead and build... I'd like to build 3 academies here. That's really pushing it financially. Let me grab Settle Timbuktu now, I think. Let's get this going. This is going to be 20 years of local pop growth. All right. Nearly there. And we need to build a building here as well to get it up to full slots. I guess I build one more court of law up here. That's probably what I want to go for the extra citizen ratio. We're still having citizen ratio anyways, but may as well push it further. That's going to be the best long-term approach. Yeah, definitely. What's my population? It's overwhelmingly bozo. I might move that treasure and change it out with something else. The Statue of Jackal, I don't have any other treasures available. Okay. Is that really true? Any provinces. I still don't know how to get these treasures to my, to the Temple of Timbuktu. I'll have to look this up. I've kept being distracted by other thing. I guess Statue of Jackal will stay there for now. Okay, money-wise, I mean, the research points here would be... Yeah, this is a lot of research coming from just Timbuktu. This would still be a good building to build. I think I'd prefer the Court of Law because I just need to have one more of them. And I do already have pretty much maxed out citizen happiness. So it'd really be for the civ level, which we're nearly at the max of, but this would also provide some civ level. And it would be for the desired ratio. I think I wait and I build the more expensive but better long-term building, so let's just keep waiting. if I was in a oligarch rulership right now, I would have the build cost reduction and the noble happiness, but I think the commerce from the Omen power is a little better. I'm doing a lot of building construction right now, though, so there is, you know, a trade-off for sure. Okay. The Senate support is nearly back where I want it to be. I'm now much more comfortable with the idea of doing assembly of citizens. Well, first, let me open sell extra papyrus and sell to someone further away. And sell to Benny again. That's a very valuable export right there. 13.61. Very nice. Yeah, we're now nearly back up to 51, which means I could change the law. I don't really want to lose the PI gain, but the tyranny loss is certainly not bad to get. And I would also lose the war council, but that's okay. I don't really need like individual claims super badly right now. Let's see. Let me remind myself what this would be doing. So 10 from Democrats. Now bring it up. Obviously that'd be valuable. Okay, I'd lose 5 from the oligarchs and from the Democrats. So it'd actually be 5 from Democrats, 10 from traditionalists, and then I'd lose 5 from oligarchs. That's probably... I don't know if the law change itself would give me more support, but I think the law change and the mission completion would give me more support. Wati Tailor-Belly is a man who has always possessed a certain innate cunning. Recently, however, this has blossomed into a fully fledged ability to manipulate even the most stubborn person into doing his will. That means shrewd. Okay. That's 1 more finesse. Alright, that's good. 1 less seal. That's fine. Senate influence plus 10%. Extra 2% holdings income. And as the ruler, Merc army maintenance minus 5%. Nobody fools Wati twice. If there's a path to a bargain, he will be the one to find it. Alright, so I think all in all, switching over to Assembly of Citizens, at the end of the day, 5% increased PI is a better modifier than minus 0.02 tyranny. But overall, my entire republic is teetering on the brink of collapse because of my tyranny. Like, the Democrats are so mad at me because of the tyranny, and I've been constantly bending over backwards to really like cripple my own political min-maxing to keep the Democrats from going into open rebellion. Unless I purposely try to limit their control, I think I need to play to some extent by their rules, and I need to get the tyranny down. So I think I will change the law next month once I have the PI for it. Although, let me wait and see if we're actually trending up. I think we are still trending up in Senate support because of the trad gain. I may wait until I'm above 51 just to be a min-maxer about it. Even though doing the action may or may not make me gain or lose Senate support overall. I'm not entirely sure. We are trending up very slowly. Let me wait until I'm above 51. There's no need to do it like immediately. I think that is fine. Yeah, the very high trad approval gain is great. We're basically gaining support more than we're losing it overall. Is the way to think about it. Did I get last time? Yeah, I got an unending open sky. That's right. People of many peoples is going to be really good. Okay, I don't know if we're going to... Ooh, hold on, we just gained a lot of support for some reason. I don't know why we're at 51 all of a sudden, but I will take it. Okay, I think I'm going to switch over to Assembly of Citizens. Let me just verify one last time this is what the Democrats want. Assembly of Citizens. Okay. Let's go for it. See, Democrats, I do occasionally do what you want me to do. Passing legislation through an august body made up of all citizens is sure to convince everyone that our government is a fair and unbiased institution. As I said, I don't know if... Well, okay. It's 10 loss from the non-trads, 10 gain from the trads. This should, by itself, as an action, slightly increase support because the trads have more control than the other two. Actually, I'm not sure if that's true. No, I think it is true. I should gain a little bit of support, then I should gain more support when the Democrats are happy that I passed their action. Okay, I did gain slightly, as I predicted, so it's good that I'm learning how playing a republic works. This did cost stability, obviously, which is a bummer. And I do lose the War Council, as I mentioned last time, but I do gain extra tyranny loss, and in a bit, the Democrats should congratulate me for passing their agenda. And now our Senate support will be repaired after nearly over half a decade of Senate support misery. I guess we'll see when they realize I did it for them. One of these days they'll notice. We shall see. Come on, Democrats. Surely. Surely. Assembly of Citizens. That's what I did for you. You gonna notice? It says I haven't passed it. This is what I did. Passed Assembly of Citizens law. There it is. Is there another Assembly of Citizens law? No. Also, I do have the Curate Assembly now. What's this? I can boost the Okay, so this is another 10-year cooldown thing. Let me do this on a cooldown if I'm going to have this law instead. Maybe I'll do this on the beginning of the next episode. I can improve different governors. Okay, the Democrats appear not to believe that I've changed the law. Changing the law did improve the support, and I do think ultimately the tyranny loss is probably better right now than the PI gain, but I'd like them to notice that I did what they wanted, by the way. That would be great. Just can't please this faction no matter what I do. Maybe they'll notice at some point, but I definitely changed the Assembly of Citizens law. So I don't know, it must be a glitch where it's actually wanting something else. This was an action that they disapproved of, so maybe it was actually targeting Assembly of Residents, but it says Assembly of Citizens, so I don't know what to tell you. I mean, of all the options, Assembly of Citizens is probably what I'd go for anyways if I was going to change it for the tyranny loss, so I tried. I tried my best, but spread of corruption. Concerned with the spread of corruption in our government, the representative of the Democrats, Senator Joaru Chilabele, has roused sweeping support for changing our legal stand. Huh? Okay, they did want assembly. Are you what? That's messed up. The thing was lying to me. They want assembly of residents. Okay. This is just dire. I don't really want Assembly of Residents. I mean, the monthly corruption loss is nice. This will let me stay off of increased wages. But the law said Assembly of Citizens. So this is a pretty serious glitch that it's displaying the wrong law. I spent stability. I mean, I gained support, but I spent stability. I lost PI gain for the wrong law because the tooltip is wrong. And here is the proof. They're pushing for... Also, why are they pushing this while they're not in power? That's kind of odd. Anyways, they want me to drop Assembly of Citizens and replace it with the Anti-Corruption Assembly of Residents. Now, if this had said Assembly of Residents, I would have probably still changed it to get the support. And I may still change it now to get more support from them. But I would have preferred them to tell me directly that's what they wanted and not tell me it's Assembly of Citizens when it's actually Assembly of Residents. These are two different laws. So if I were to do this, I'd gain popularity on Wati, loyalty from Jaruru, which is not... He's now the expected next guy, so his loyalty would matter. I don't really want him to be the next guy. I may need to interact with that, but... Oligarchs and Trads would be upset. So this would likely lose me a little bit of support, but it would secure more Democrat approval for longer. And given that Trads are trending up faster than Democrat... Well, not anymore, actually. Trads are no longer trending up. Oh, you know what? It's because of my stability loss. I don't think this would cost stability, because it would just directly change it to it. This would definitely cost me Democrat approval to an extent that would bring me back down below 51. So this is pretty messed up. I don't have any other way to put this. Like, this is just bad that this was glitched and displayed the wrong law. Because now, I mean, the thing is, it's actually a coincidence that I changed the law and then the Democrats come to me to demand the law change pretty quickly afterwards. Like, if I delayed changing the law longer, this would have happened first, and I wouldn't have lost the stability. Now that I've changed it to the anti-tyranny law, I think reducing tyranny in the long run is the best way to control the Democrats. Unfortunately, I have to decline this. I was doing what I thought you wanted me to do, but yeah. 49 is fine. We're gonna climb back up pretty soon. This is fine. It's frustrating, but I don't know what else I can do about this. I need to I need to just take it and press on, unfortunately. What I really need to do is get Divine Sacrifices going again. 46.50, that'll have to be. Oh, you know what? I've got plenty of money now. I should have been building buildings. Completely overlooked that. That is a mistake. Let me get the Court of Law going here. I guess I wouldn't have actually. I've just delayed on one building. Distracted by political shenanigans, as we often are. Alright, and then in Tiabu, I could just build 3 libraries, honestly. May not be the worst idea. But I think the current population, academies. Let me build. Let's see. Population. Grab the deck. I could move more population in here, to be completely honest. I don't have a lot of population to work with, but I could try to centralize them further. I have the money. Let me build the larger buildings. Yeah, let me build academies. It'll just take a couple months. Stupid Democrats causing all these problems. Or at least now our law is giving us more tyranny law, so that's good. Fatim Sankara died at 21. She was the physician. Okay, she died in childbirth. That is a sad bit of news. Okay, who do we replace her with? Another Sankara, presumably. She wasn't very good at her job, but her replacement would be even worse. Actually, Kadi is going to be similar quality. Right. We're just about at 2 PI. That'll have to do. Okay. This is like, are they really like, how are they surviving so far? How much were they, like, this isn't scaled, is it? 96, never mind. I could just raise my army and go kill them. In fact, even at low morale, this should just be a stack wipe. Let me just raise the Gene Levy and just send them in at partial morale. Okay, this is the least believable battle prediction I've ever seen. We're going to win this fight instantly because it's going to be a stack wipe. Even if we take some casualties, I'm in peacetime right now. There's no need to worry about that. Wati falls ill. Wati Tilabele, Senate Worthy, has fallen ill. Perhaps if he is wealthy enough, he will seek treatment of his own volition. Otherwise, we could always step in if his condition worsens. Inflammation. Yeah, this is a bad time to be losing our physicians to childbirth death. That's not going to be too good. Okay, let's build an academy over here. We also need to get our civ level up as well. Alright, there's the stack wipe. No losses at all, as expected. Back down we go. Thanks. Appreciate it. Trade for me? No. Okay. Losing tyranny, nice and gradually. Senate support is secured once again. Very good. Okay. For a while, I'll be finishing soon. There it is. Very nice. Okay. Alright, we have a lot of oh my god, the migration coming in is absurd. Alright, we got 25% promotion. That's crazy. That's 4 months for promotion. That's an unbelievable amount of promotion over here. Oh my god. I mean, these ratios are definitely helping with that, but whew, slave promotion is out of control in Timbuktu in the best way possible. Alright, Gangnam is growing a little bit, but not too much. I may move some pops over from Timbuktu, although I did just build the building, so I don't really want to mess that up. I guess I could have moved the pops and then kept it at 7 of 7, but oh well. I want to have the building anyways. It's a good building. Alright. I may build a library after the academy. Maybe we'll build another library or another academy after that. We have 1 citizen house. We get a bit of research from them. What's our research situation now? 10.8, 77%. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright. Looking at early next episode for our next round of research gains, which will translate to possibly professional training. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet, monetarily. Possibly. I think getting centralized committees is going to be important to save on PI costs, plus monthly tyranny reduction and town criers. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go, to be completely honest. 10% PI, tyranny loss. Arguably, I should have done that before hypo cost, but I think getting the Freeman and citizen output bonuses and the promotion speed was also a strong option. I think I go for these 4 next. Okay, the academy's done. And just so I have something building, I think I'd build a library next. How long is this going to take? About half a year. Probably won't have it. Civil War problems, okay. Okay, now that Pataragombe and Arbonu are both mad, we've got some civil war looming. Not good. Okay. What is Pataragombe's problem? Look at 100% trad and Democrat. Interesting. Okay. What is his problem? Sworn family, low faction approval. He's a Democrat, so that doesn't make sense. I could persuade him. That's going to be 3 years of Pataragombe support. It's probably... yeah, let's just persuade him. That's the best way to do that. Could also do that with Arbonu, but he's not going to be the rival of the ruler once my current guy is not the ruler, so we shall see if that becomes a problem. Hopefully not. I could drop him as a rival, but again, once Wati is no longer the ruler, it's not going to matter. Salam the Slave. For the last few days, the dark corners of the Senate House have been abuzz with the whispers of huddled relics resembling senators and ambitious freedmen of the Libertini? Is that right? I don't know about that. Has managed to make his way from the alleys of Soum to the assembly in Timbuktu, winning local elections with wide popular support. Whether his success can be attributed to merit or more nefarious means has been a hot topic among his detractors, but in any case, Salam and his supporters are demanding he be granted an office befitting his talents. Talent is a stretchy word in this context. Naturally, the more traditional members of the House are loath to tolerate his presence at all, and feel the promotion of former slaves to mean their nobility, such as it is. Citizen happiness and slave happiness, approval from Dems. This would be a much better trade. Like, I'd rather have 8% more citizen happiness and 4% reduced slave happiness. Trads like this, trads do have the most strength in the Senate. I think I need to make this choice politically. Corruption on Wati isn't great. But the modifier, and this is for the whole country, isn't it? Yeah, this is for the entire republic. This is a much better trade-off because slave happiness doesn't affect their output, but citizen happiness will affect their output, and it's stronger. I could also lose corruption. Chance to gain an office. This is a pretty good alternate. Either of these two are good options. I don't really care about the popularity on Wati that much. Gaining the corruption is annoying, but we only have him for about 2 more years, a little over 2 more years. Losing loyalty on this random guy doesn't matter at all. The modifier here for 10 years is really good. and the trad approval is really good. This would secure Senate support pretty well for a bit here. Or I risk that this guy comes in. Now, the thing is, any of my offices he takes would actually be fine. This would be another minor character. The problem is he's not actually very good. But if he came in, if he had high loyalty and he came in for a finesse or oratory office that I didn't mind as much losing. He's also oddly an oligarch, despite being a former slave, so that's interesting. 15 PI, what would that give me right now? It'd get me closer to doing, getting Divine Sacrifice, which would then get me closer to high approval, or high stability, leading to higher trad approval gain, as opposed to direct 10 approval from trads. Trads are increasing anyways, so... But then again, high stability would also help my whole country in a lot of other ways, so... It's a really tough call. Let me check and see how many of my citizens are not in. 35 total, of which 7 are here. I do have a bunch of citizens all over the place. I think this would probably give me the most research gain from the citizen output from citizen happiness. I think I go for this. Alright, 57. That's very high. 11.5, 83. Okay. That was probably the right choice. The other option was still a perfectly good option, alternatively. Okay. If I don't have enough money, I may just build another library, potentially. I would like to build another academy instead. Just because I need to get this mission over and done with. And then this one will require import... I can just... You know what? I can import... At this point, let me just import my own grain. It's going to be a little bit of money. I should have probably done this earlier. No one, for some reason, is buying this copy of grain. And this will allow me to do this mission, yeah, once I finish this. So I probably could have done that a little earlier and made a little bit more money. But I was waiting, because selling the grain internationally would be more valuable than buying it from myself. But for some reason, no one was buying that grain for a long time, and no one was offering yet. So this is the better way to do it. So I know this has been kind of a more slow-paced episode, but as you can tell, there's a lot going on. This is a very economy-oriented episode, all about solidifying our gains and strengthening our country. That's the priority right now. And letting our manpower replenish. I mean, we've had some expensive wars recently on manpower, so let's calm down and get things under control as best we can. At this rate, I can probably even get another academy instead of a library, but we shall see what ends up being available. I may wait for the academy money at this rate. We also do some cultural interactions. I don't really want to mess around with the stability costs of doing these things, so that's why I've not been doing them so far. I could also have been founding colonies, but I think I'd prefer, honestly, to just move around pops through slaves. Because founding colony redistributes pops so unpredictably, can be kind of frustrating to deal with, so could have been doing it, but I don't really think it's a make or break. Around here, I don't think I have assimilation issues to worry about too much, so I think I'm doing just fine. Okay, maybe I will build another library just to get it over with, because it will eventually have 2 libraries, at least 2 libraries. Let's wait and see. I don't want to delay this too far, because then this is a free province investment, then there's a permanent modifier, and then from there I finish the mission, and I'm able to move on to other missions. That being said, what I'm hoping for is a Conquest of Songhai mission. That would probably be the best option, but I guess we'll see what the options are. Okay, do I build another library now, or do I build the academy? Do I wait and build the academy? I think building another library now is not a bad idea. Cheaper, build faster. Actually, I don't know if it builds faster, but it is cheaper. It'll be faster to build, I should say. Let me just wait a few months and build the other academy. I think that's probably... Let's go long term here. There's no rush. It's not like I'm gonna, start using claims that I get during this episode to go fight more wars. At least not very likely. Not with my 0 martial on my main guy. I've got good martial on a national level, but not on the ruler level. Alright, we should also be getting this next month, Untiring Devotion. Gane Isawagan is cultivating quite the reputation as a man of decency and honor. Such virtues give our citizens good reason to feel safe, secure, and stable. Splendid. Alright. Stability is increasing, and now we can do... Oh, never mind. Oh, we dipped below 2. Oh. Alright, next month we'll be able to do Divine Sacrifice and get that going. Very, very important to keep our stability rising. Yeah, the glitch with this saying that they wanted Assembly of Citizens when they wanted Assembly of Residents, frustrating, but I think I am managing to recover from that situation just fine. Alright, Yerelenko Sankara died. He was the censor, head of the Bolsa family. Oh no, rival of the head of the Bolsa family, then he's a member of the Sankara family. Murder. We've been informed that Yerelenko Sankara was found brutally murdered in his home just last night. The investigators reported that a wicked pike was used in the crime, a device known to be favored by Patsarogambe Bolsa. There he is. Our disloyal friend himself. However, we have no hard evidence to link him. Travesty. I mean, is he really the only one using pikes? I feel like pikes are not uncommon, but I'm not going to make him lose 15 loyalty. I just did some stuff. I just bribed him to get him loyal. Travesty, we were powerless to act. Low chance of success if I brought him to trial. Let's just leave it alone. Incidentally, looks like Tokuruma Sankara, who's my current tribune, is a character I've not really seen before, is going to be the next Atacon. He's a traditionalist, coming in with Jaruru as the Democrat sidekick. Jaruru is not very good stat-wise. This guy's not amazing either, but his martial at least makes him a feasible warrior Atacon. I may want to interfere in this. I don't really want either of these guys to be the next Atacon. They're both pretty close to each other, so I imagine there's some good succession support characters behind them in the queue. I think we have enough time to interfere, but how would I want to go about doing that? He doesn't have a lot of power base. Why is he supported so much? Let's figure this out. He's supported by about half the traditionalists, and he has a little bit of support from the other parties. Let's see. If I smeared him, so bring him down to 25 popularity. This would lose me some support overall, but this might be the tipping point that I need. Statesmanship and family prestige. I could, how about this? Let me replace him as the tribute of the soldiers. Also, I need a new censor as well. That would help too. Let's see. Condolon Chilabille, I can bring her right now. That would not be good. I could bring in Bogoro Mogo and then give him free hands. He wouldn't have very good loyalty, but he would be a minor character. Democrats, I think, would like that I bring in a Democrat and look for free hands. That'll have to do. I need a good censor. I think it's non-negotiable. Okay. The soldiers. I'm comfortable having a worse character for this. Let me revoke this guy's free hands and replace him with... Who do we have that... It's not gonna be terrible. Alright, 6. It's not very good, but I can give this guy free hands and get some good loyalty from him. Okay. And now, with the loss of that power base... Also, where is Jaruru right now? Is he currently in an office? No, he's just the party leader. I could imprison him. For some reason, I'm allowed to just imprison him with no basis. What's this about? 10 approval loss and 5 tyranny is very steep, but this would kick him out of the line of succession. Let me wait and see how Tokuruma's loss of station changes things. Let me not be too hasty here. Don't want to overdo things. I'm trying to lose tyranny right now, not gain tyranny. So 5 tyranny would be wiping out half of the loss I will have had over the course of this whole episode. So I don't really want to do that if I don't have to. So let's wait and see. Okay, now Jaruru is the first in line, and then directly behind it is Tokuruma. Okay, that's not quite what I was hoping for. Is there really... Who else isn't... I really wish I could see the full list of candidates. That would be very, very useful for me to figure that out. I don't suppose the character menu has this somewhere. I don't think it does. There's no, like on an individual character, it does not show succession chance as a republic, unfortunately. I could imprison him and lose trad approval. This would actually cost less tyranny. Is that because I'm currently a traditionalist? Oh, I also can't do it on the primary heir. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, this would bring you down below 51, almost for sure. Trads are still climbing up, though. I don't really want to do that with him. Smearing this guy, I should gain support from this. Cost to approval. Or, I mean, cost to tyranny. Okay. Painful to spend the tyranny, but I really don't want Jaruru. I don't want a Democrat in charge. I don't want Jaruru's. Like, if I have a god tier Democrat, I'll suffer a Democrat reign because they're gonna like want me to like change my election terms. But maybe I can hold them off if that would happen. I mean, citizen output would actually be pretty. Maybe I do want a Democrat in charge. This would help my economy. In fact, this would probably be better than the Omen power for. The Omen power from the Trads for commerce, because citizen output would mean more research. And what I really want right now, desperately, is more research. That's my huge priority right now. With that in mind, I actually wouldn't mind a Democrat ruler, but I don't want Jaruru, because he's not very good. All he would bring is the Zeal, which most... Well, this guy wouldn't bring Zeal. Alright, now that I've done this, let me wait again for another tick and see what my meddling has caused. Also, we can, I think, build our next building in just a bit here. Why can't some of my governors become candidates? That would be preferable. All right, look at that last building there, 28th of December. Okay, so now Gane Isawagan, my augur, is the next expected outcome. This guy's not much better. This would keep the Trads in power. I really would not want this guy either. Alright, these guys are splitting the trad vote. That's what it seems to be. Yeah. Actually, I don't think the way these votes calculate is very weird. I don't know if it's like one per candidate or what exactly is going on, or if it's like a split ticket. I don't really want this guy either. This guy's also extremely corrupt. Okay, now I have a real serious issue not with this guy. Yeah, free hands has caused a number on things. I could smear him. That's more tyranny gain. I just spent all this time losing tyranny. How badly do I want to mess with this? I guess, so with my current tyranny loss, we're looking at... It's basically 8 months for this action with my current tyranny loss. Maybe what I do is I instead improve another character instead of reducing these characters. Like, I'd be okay with this guy as the co-Otacon. This guy doesn't offer much as the co-Otacon. But again, I don't know who's like next in line or who's another good option. I have to work with the information that I have. Maybe it's like a lot of my good previous Otacons are it's not been long enough that they can't be reelected. Oh, it's so expensive. It's so expensive on tyranny. And with it not even being like I'm not getting the full 25 popularity value from it, I probably shouldn't do it. I could fire him and get a different augur. Let me do that first. That's not going to cost any tyranny. This guy's really good, which is a huge shame. Is there anybody else who? Okay. Where's my Isawagan character? That's a governor. Do I have one more grateful family for the really good zeal? I think I might want to. Democrats are going to be so mad about this. Actually, this guy is Isawagan. Okay, hold on. We can do this. Revoke free hands. Bring her in. She's already at 100 without free hands. Okay. Good. Now we wait for the tick. We've got a year and a half to successfully meddle with this election to put ourselves in a better position. Also, I slightly missed this. That's fine. Let's do it now. Divine Sacrifice. There we go. I need the stability. I missed 1 or 2 ticks of it. It's okay. I've been busy engaging in election interference. You know how it is. All right, maybe that like crazy zeal lady will become my new possible Otacon candidate. We'll see. Okay. So now it has just flipped them. I might be okay with this. So we'd have a double trad rule, which is actually good because this, again, lets us maintain our good trad approval gain. This might be the best I can hope for, honestly. The next question is how many mercs have a 7 or below martial leader? That's the other big question for warring. Anybody with 7 or below. We know that 8 is fine. Okay, we have a 7. Okay, we have 5 here with 3. Okay, yeah, this is probably... This right here is probably why a 7 martial Otacon will be fine. Because we can hire a 7 martial merc and get the infantry strength from that. So I think that's going to be fine. Okay, I think I'm going to lock this in. I'm glad I didn't do smearing on either of them, because their shared popularity will help the tyranny situation in the nation as well. Corruption has such a huge effect on monthly wages. Oh my god. Okay. This is still very close. I really want this guy to be the main Otacon and this guy to not be the main Otacon. It's pretty slight, but these differences are pretty huge. So maybe if I could get rid of, like, if this guy could either lose a lot of support and it's clear he won't win in like a last minute change, or if it's a different character, I think I prefer that. But is it worth it for 2 tyranny? I don't think it's worth 2 tyranny to do that. Rivaling him won't do anything. Imprisoning, weirdly, is less tyranny, though it's just barely less tyranny. Trads lose happiness. Then I go into negative Senate approval, which could present a lot of problems. But then this would for sure get rid of him. I don't think any of these actions are worth it. I think... Can I do anything to make this guy more popular? Can I hold a triumph for him? I don't think he would be allowed. Maybe I could give him... No, I need him to be... Hold on, where... Actually, hold on. You know what I could do? I could give this guy his position back, because I removed him from a position. Or I could make him a governor. Hold on, before I say that. 6 finesse. That's not great. The Gene levy is increasingly becoming like part of my plan, so perhaps I make him the Gene governor? This would upset Akoi. He's not a family head, though. He's just old, so he looks like he'd be a family head. What would this be costing me in PI? Just a single province I'd have to change. He may not even change it. Okay, let me find him in the list. Here he is. He'd be providing some research bonuses. Okay. What are you providing? Freeman happiness. That's basically it. That's not really a huge problem here. Let me make him a governor. This should definitely ensure he doesn't become overtaken at the end in a close race. Alright. This will also remove the Isawagan position with the sun. So this will also provide 1 more score in family, which will help the Democrats be happier too. And this guy's really loyal as well. Guileless for corruption loss. That's actually pretty good. Okay. So Kodama, you are now the governor. You've made it civ effort, not what I'd pick, but I can change it later. Okay. This should strengthen his support because now he'll have more power base. He'll have a fair bit more power base as well, yeah. He's a pretty big governorship. Loyalty is good. I could now boost him up with a cognomen, which I think I probably will do. Let me do it now as well. Alright, Kodama will now be known as the Bugler. I don't know. I'm going to look up what that means. That's a very strange. Bugler? What does that mean? Oh, bugler. A person who plays the bugle. Is he a bugle player? I don't know about that. Okay, so he's the bugler, apparently. Okay, I don't know exactly where that came from, but I guess he's got bugle in hand. Okay, that gave him some popularity. Still the same loyalty. I could give him free hands, and he would not gain corruption very fast. He would gain more loyalty. And but then as the ruler, I guess his loyalty right now, it doesn't matter that much. I'm expecting him to be cycled out. Okay. That's enough meddling for now. Let's see the effects of my actions here. Scandal. Scandal is unfortunately part of an average day in the Timbuktuian assembly. Ordinarily, we would simply ignore such petty squabbles. However, on this occasion, the esteemed Kaba Suwadi, this is my co-archon, oh boy, was found in flagrante delicto with his lover, Zainab Debo, this is some random Democrat politician, by his spouse, Dada Bunu. Uh-oh, that's a bad look. Interesting. Dada Bunu, the spouse, overcome with despair, has appealed to the assembly to have Kata Suwadi stripped of office. Can I strip him of office? He's the co-archon. What does this do? Does he, like... is he fired from being co-archon? Do I want him fired? I don't know if I really want him fired. I'd be losing out on some stab change. He is a family head as well, so he may become really upset if I fire him. He'll have a lot of power base despite losing his co-archonship position. In fact, most of his power base comes from being the family head. Democrats like this. This is a rare chance to get some Democrat approval with no other approval downsides. This would secure my Senate support for a bit. Though they should now be a little happier from the Scorn families, maybe. Well, maybe, it's hard to say. Popular loss on Wachi. I don't know what happens. Like, I guess the concern would be if I do this, does Toakuma, the bugler, become my new co-archon? I've never really, like, encountered this situation before. I probably shouldn't do this, because I don't... Again, I just did all this effort to make the bugler my next expected archon, so I don't really want to elevate him preemptively. So I shouldn't do this, is what I'm saying. But should I do this? Democrats like it. So this is very strange. So even though he has been exposed for having an affair with a Democrat, and he's a traditionalist, the Democrats like it when I give a free pass to a traditionalist lead. I guess the Democrats support corruption among the politicians, even though they are against tyranny. Like, it's very... The way the game simulates the historical Democrats is very all over the place. Like, they just want the most unpredictable things. I guess it makes sense because they're, you know, populists, but... This is probably the best option. In fact, I think this might be by far the best option now that I'm reading it more closely. I don't care at all about Dada Bunu or Kaba Suwadi's opinion. Lose 5 popularity on Wati, that's fine. Loyalty loss on the wife, which doesn't matter, and she sees the mistress as a rival, which doesn't matter. I think I just gained 10 approval for free. Yeah, wow, okay. Interesting. Don't know what to make of that exactly. Okay, 130 days until we get our mission complete, and we can see what our next mission will be. Yeah, I'm really trying to set up for, like, let's see, after the tick, what we're looking at. Okay, things are secure. The bugler is coming in. Trumpets herald his arrival. Bugles herald his arrival, I suppose. Tokurma Sankara coming in. The bugler. That's funny, I thought it said the bugler. I guess bugler is what that would say. I don't have any idea why he'd be, like, the shield made sense. She was a governor of a border region. The bugler? Like, what? Okay. Anyways, I really would like a different co-archon for him, though. This is the issue. There must be someone right below this guy. I don't really want to spend the TV. I don't really have... I mean, doing this now, support-wise... would be a problem. Unless they force me to direct investment, then I can get approval for free. This guy here... So this is actually... There's a minor character. I think I'm going to do it. The chances are so high. Well, that being said, he does provide extra zeal, which I shouldn't overlook. The risk is someone who's worse than him. And he's not terrible. But I'd really prefer someone else. The issue, I could imprison him and then release him after the election, so he doesn't return with his... but then again, it's so complicated. Popularity loss, that's fine. I think smearing would lower his popularity enough that it would potentially bring someone else in, but there's no guarantee of it. Maybe I wait until he has higher... He seems to be gaining popularity as well. Actually, he's not. Okay, never mind. Lose 5 from trads. Oddly, the trads only have double approval loss if I imprison him versus me smearing him, and this gains me approval with the other faction. So this would probably lead me to lose. This would definitely have me losing Senate support slightly, but it wouldn't like tank it the way that this would. All right, let me just do it. Character smeared. Now we'll see if that's had an effect. I sure hope so. I just spent a lot of tyranny to do that. I'm really trying to set myself up here, but it's so expensive on tyranny to do everything in this game. It's just so expensive on tyranny. Ugh, okay. You can see why I removed tyranny from my mod. I'm so tired of dealing with this mechanic. Alright, who do we have? Okay, Akoi Isawagan. I will take this. This is a good support character. 0868. He'll be lending over actually all of his non-martial stats, and Tokuruma's best stat is his martials. This is basically what I was hoping for. This is perfect. This is perfect. If this guy was actually coming in as the, because this is the former governor as well, if this guy was coming in as the main Otacon, I'd actually be okay with that too. I'd just take another year of recovery, but with 7 martial, I'm happy to have a more warlike episode. Okay, this guy's also a trad, so we're still going to have our double trad Otacon ship, which is going to be good for trad approval gain, because they're going to dislike me going to war, so I think this is good. Okay, it's just the most political, like, House of Cards action you've seen in any one of these episodes so far. There's just so much going on. I have to make so many careful decisions about politics here. Though we are now number 11 in the world, that's pretty good. I will happily take that. Okay. All right. So much work, but I'm happy with the expected next characters. Now, if someone else overtakes this guy from succession support, I'll be upset. But this is the pros and cons of doing election meddling so far in advance. I still have about a year before things bear out, so we'll see. At least the main Otacon seems fairly locked in at this point, so I'm happy with that. This guy's losing support though. Not ideal. Can't really do much to give him more. I could make him a governor and then give him a cognomen, but it's a lot of. Actually, with 8 finesse, he might be a good governor. In fact, he would be a good governor with 8 finesse. Okay, Academy and Tiebu is done. Very nice. And now, most importantly, develop Timbuktu. That's a free province investment. And supply Timbuktu state infrastructure plus 2.50% pop capacity in the province of Timbuktu permanently. There we go. Now, the last question of this mission. Do I continue with these objectives, which will require colonization, which will require, with no ability to migrate tribesmen, this would require a lot of very slow pop migration naturally, which I don't want to wait around for. These modifiers are obviously not bad, or these bonuses aren't bad, but I think it's time to finish the mission Matter of Ghana. I consider this a complete mission for what is feasible in this campaign. Let's proceed. All right. Okay, we actually have a custom mission? This doesn't look like a... Yeah, this is a custom mission. Where is Adrar? Seize Adrar. Where is Adrar? I mean, I probably want to do this either way. Maybe Adrar is like the name. So, okay, take control of... So, let me back up. So, there's this option or the Zholof one. Okay, so Zholof is this direction. So this mission would for sure give me claims I could feed my feudatory land through. That could be a good idea. I think I would want to feed them land. A lot of Zholof is uncolonized, but there is this cluster of tribes that I could fight through fairly reliably. So this is a good option if I'm not sure about this. Take control of the Saharan region of Adrar, either through diplomacy, colonization, or conquest. Seize Adrar. The settlements and trade posts of the Central Sahara may be isolated and poor, but provide an essential route to crossing the Great Desert. The area of Adrar borders our empire. So this may be a Timbuktu specific mission. Let me first verify if there is a region of Adrar that's like far away. Sahara. Okay, there's no region called Adrar that I can find. Maybe Adrar is like another name for the... And it's talking about the Sahara, so I'm assuming it's... Because this is like a new mission for the mod, so I'm assuming it's over here. But just to be absolutely sure it's not like targeting a weird province I'm not nearby. So Tuat, Tichit, Kolima... Oh, Adrar is right here. Okay, so Adrar would be this region. It's a province, Adrar. That is actually something I think is worth doing. Also, custom missions tend to be more interesting because they're just new, so let's do expand into Adrar. Okay, the area of Adrar is not very... It's just 2 tags, and then there's like... Then, I guess, way further north, there's Sijilmasa. Okay, let's do expand into Adrar. I can always do Matter of Zholof later. I do want to expand and get more trade connections. I have a lot of resources to sell, and I want to buy more resources too. Start mission. Okay, so off to a good start. Seize Tichit, we already do that. We get Saharan Expansion Mission Modifier, the famous modifier. Yeah, this mod needs a bit of localization work. By the way, if you are the mod author and you want any advice on modifier localization, I have a lot of experience with that from working on Hegemony. In fact, I probably won't do... I was just thinking maybe I'll like localize some of these modifiers in the files of my copy of the mod, but I don't really want to mess around with the mod files during an active campaign. But this will provide the Tichit province. What is, hold on. The Tichit settlement. Provincial loyalty, army attrition, and local fort defense for 3 years. Before expanding into Adrar, we must secure neighboring territory. Okay. Hire local guides. So this will take 1 year, and then this will allow us to move... Actually, this creates... Ooh, okay, hold on. This will let us... Oh, this is really good. This will allow us to directly take control of areas up here. I wonder if there was actually a mission to expand into Tichit that I, like, passed over because I got it through that war. That would have allowed me to do some sort of similar thing over here. Now, I can actually move pops the normal way through here very slowly, through migration. Or through, like, population migration, not like the migration mechanic that I don't have access to because I'm not a tribe. But this stuff up here can only be reached through this way, so this is actually perfect. The land of the Sahara may be harsh, but there exists some select places where we can sustain permanent human settlement. Hiring some local guides will help us find such a site. Now, the other options here is, let's see. I could spend 120 gold. I have to own Wadan. Okay. What's this let me do? Nobody. Nobody is a subject of Timbuktu. Does this mean like I have no subjects? Please let me look at it. Nobody. Okay. Where's Wadan? I need a moment to like process how this mission tree is structured here. So each of these 3 prevents the other 2. Okay, that's good to figure out. These top 3, I can do all of them though. This gives me claims. 20 PI for claims on these tiles. Okay, this gives me a way to fight these guys up here. Okay. Wait, there's 5 tiles. Alright, so hold on. So Chingpati, Wadan, Vigil, and then I get a claim on Wadan twice. Okay, that's just a mistake in the mod. Okay, This is pretty good. So I can do all 3 of these. I don't know if I want to do this middle one. It doesn't seem to do anything on its own. Okay, so I can do this, and then I can get land. I can get Wadon and Azuki directly with free Freeman for 500 manpower, which is obviously fine. And then I can also do this to get claims on these tiles here as well. And then I can then do this one from owning the Wadon tile. And then by doing that, I can then send additional settlers for owning the Wadon territory and spending 20 gold. And then 3 freemen appear in Wadon, and then Wadon gains provincial loyalty, export value, and migration attraction for 10 years. And then I can finish. Okay, so this is a pretty weird mission, but hey, I mean, my mod doesn't have missions yet, so I shouldn't like talk down on another mod's mission. I say weird in the sense that the way it's laid out is not super intuitive, but this is still a cool mod that obviously took a lot of work to create. I mean, just the land itself obviously is so impressive. So a slightly under-localized and kind of oddly laid out mission. I'm not gonna, say anything mean about that. This is still, like, really cool that this is here. I'd rather have, like, odd unique missions than no unique missions at all for a mod like this. So I am not gonna be mean. All right, let me just hire local guides, because I do want to just get Wadon for free and Azuki for free, that's for sure. So this is definitely the right mission to do, by the way. This will secure me this northern territory. Okay, there we go. That's going to be 1 year. It'll end right at the end of the episode. Very nice. Okay, so we're setting ourselves up for a little war next time with our new incoming Otacon, Tokodama. A great servant of the Republic, a service to the state rendered by Gane Isawagan. The services to the state are without equal in his generation, even among the great families of our country. Many expect that his deeds through his line will soon rise to be more influential than our traditional aristocratic lineages. This is not going unnoticed. Were we to elevate the Isawagan family, it would create turmoil in the aristocracy and likely lead to the disgrace of our older lineages. What? Oh, Gane Isawagan, that's right. I don't want this guy to be ascending. Why do I have a family rising? Oh, hold on. Oh, this is interesting. So the Isawagan family could replace the Bolsa family. Confusingly, I already have an Isawagan family that's different from this. Is it? Hold on. It's showing the other Isawagan family right here. Okay, so I could replace this Isawagan family with the other Isawagan family. Or I could destroy this guy's loyalty. This guy's a minor character who's not in a position of power. I don't really want to throw this off that much. Let's put this upstart back in its place. I don't really want to change any families. No need for that. Weird stuff. Okay. Good stuff. 13, okay. What's the barb power out here? Apparently none. Where's barb power here? Maybe I can destroy the fort in Titchit once I have this territory fortified. Maybe. It's hard to say. It'd be nice to save on the money, but I may not really be able to justify that. In fact, once I control this territory, I can at least reduce fort maintenance, probably. That's probably fine. We'll see. I will decide later. Okay, so Tokodama, the Bugler, is coming in with his huge succession support. This is good. This is a good arrangement to come in with. Okay, I think we just coast along to the end of the reign here. Very politically heavy episode. Lots of politics happening in this episode. But we managed to get into a new mission, expanding northward. We're going to be getting some new Sahara territory next time, expanding our reach even further. And we did lose some tyranny. We spent some tyranny to set ourselves up for a good expansion reign next episode, but we did ultimately lose. We were around 40 tyranny earlier, so this is still overall a net positive situation, I think. All right. These guys are not too happy with me, but I don't care. We've got our economy going. That's what matters to me. Could also make Houndu a city. And it does have some population that it could promote up if I made it a city. I have to make it a... I'd have to have 50 PI for that, though. I think I probably will make it a city. Houndu or Dia are both good spots for cities. Houndu's a bit better developed, so I probably would make Houndu a city first. But Dia is definitely on my mind. And we'll get to it later. Yeah, so I think we'll do this Oasis mission, and then I'll see if there's like another Oasis mission afterwards. Like if so, I'd continue expanding. That's more dip range, more access to Mediterranean markets. My commerce economy will really get going once I have that. In fact, I can also, let me check and see anything else. No, I'll just keep trading the grain internally. May as well, but once I have more northern territory. I mean, this isn't really like much further north, but maybe it'll expand my reach a little further this way. It's hard to tell how the dip range will calculate. It seems to be as the crow flies, but maybe being further along the route, as it were, will make a difference. Also, we're nearly at full manpower, which will be nice for this upcoming, likely very miserable desert warfare we're about to do. Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay. Could also do one of these actions. I don't think any of these are going to be the best action for me at the moment. I could do legal reforms. Come back to that maybe next episode. Several nights ago, Kabasuwari, my co-Otacon, was discovered helping himself to a sizable quantity of gold from the National Treasury. This is clearly a serious crime. However, there's something to be said for sweeping. This guy just can't stop being the worst. Okay. I'm worried about him dying and screwing up the succession. I really don't want Tokurama coming in preemptively. 20 health probably won't kill him. And the popularity would be nice for the last... I mean, we're on the way out. Let me just be corrupt on the way out. Popularity loss won't matter once the election happens. Shouldn't... Oh, hold on. Wendrayago is now the next expected Otacon. So, or co-Otacon. So this guy coming in is going to have better martial and better zeal. So I think he's a little worse than the previous co-Otacon, but I'm actually okay with this guy as an alternative. He's not terrible. This would make a split trad oligarch ticket, which would be fine. Oligarchs have a lot of... Oligarchs are always going to be happy because all my actions are so tyrannical, but I don't really want this guy, but I can't do anything about it now. There's not enough time left, so it's fine. We'll have a split leadership thing. Trads will still be happy with a trad main Otacon in charge, I think. Okay. Let me proceed. Okay, Kura should be fine as it is. Hold on. Oh, you know, I have a free... That's right. Let me wait for the election and then do it after the election to potentially get happiness from the trads. I think I do it like that. Election coming in. Yep, I know. Oh, hold on. Jaruru is back. He arose from nowhere. Okay, so I'm actually okay with this. He's not a great co-Otacon. And I think my election meddling this episode started with trying to get him out of the line here, but assuming he stays, he will be providing some additional zeal, so that's fine. And I think this is actually, like, if I'm going to not have double trads, I'd rather have a trad than a dem to get some Democrat happiness. I think they're going to like that their guy is a co-Otacon, so that'll help with the Democrat approval situation. So I think I have no time left, unless it changes again, which it might. We shall see. There's a nail-biting final bit here, but this whole episode's been all about politics and economic reinvestment and planning ahead. So, again, hope you don't mind the slower episode, but these episodes are often the most important episodes of the campaign, where I'm just really getting my economy going, getting things set up for the future. Okay, this seems to be locked in. Tokurama coming in is definitely locked in. Bugler will have his chance to shine. His performance, his solo. He's pulling out the horn. Look at him blow. All right, let's slow down as we go into 175. Here we go. Oh, that's right. We also have send settlers now. I guess I can just do this now, and then just establish a claim right after. Okay, 500 manpower. We get these 2 tiles immediately. Send settlers. Having found a suitable site, we shall finance an expedition to establish a small settlement. Oh, that's right. Hold on. I didn't even think about this. I can just go and do this once I control Wadon. Is there any reason I want to do this first before this? I don't think so. Let's see. Because I want to get this for the claims. I don't want to finish before I get this. All right, let me send settlers. Right, there's Timbuktu. Oh, this bypassed this. Okay. I did not realize that would happen. Shoot. There go my claims. But I can fabricate on them now because I border them. Extremely inefficient. That's 40 PI that I did not need. If I'd done it in the other order, that's a pretty frustrating mistake. This does not show that this would... Okay. In fairness to me, this was not displaying these as being bypassed by this action. It displayed these ones as being bypassed. So... Okay, well... I can get the claims the slow way, but I really would have preferred the claims for free. I would have waited a year for the claims. It would have been 20 PI, so it basically saved... So I'm basically missing out with this action on 20 PI, which it is what it is. Let's go ahead and... Also, this is considered finishable already. 20 gold for 3 more Bozo Freemen appearing in Wadon, and then Wadon gets the modifier. Okay. I guess I can do this, and then I can start the next mission and get the claims from that for the other areas. That's interesting. Let me do this now. 20 PI, 20 gold is obviously fine. This is obviously the capital here. Loyalty is actually good up here. Okay. All right, well, at this point, let me go ahead and finish the mission. Oh, okay, so there is... Yeah, so Sigil Massa is up here. Okay, so... Okay. Very interesting. So, I do want to fight these guys. I could just wait for them to declare on me, honestly. As I think they're likely to eventually. I'll have to think about that. I think I do want to get Sigil... I mean, this is... I wasn't expecting it to go this far north. Okay, before I do anything else here, I need to first see... Maybe after the tick. Let me keep it open for after the tick, because I do have more territory in the north. So these missions seem to be fairly easy to do, and they don't really require any conquest. Actually, this is just a tile that's occupied, so... Take control of the Saharan region of Sigil Massa, either through diplomacy... Let me do this one next. This is gonna guarantee access to the Med, which is important for my commerce economy. Yeah, expand into Sigil Massa. Start mission. Okay, so this does require... Huh? Secure a drawer. Dawn. This is the same mission as before. All settled provinces in Sigil Massa are owned by us or our vassals. Is that correct? Sigil Massa. Well, Sigil Massa is this province, so I don't have a claim on them. I thought the mission would give me the claim. It's maybe a glitched mission or like an unfinished mission. I mean, it might... It seems to be saying I need to secure all of the Adrar tiles, and it is highlighting the Wadon territory, because that's where the completion bonus goes. I guess I can get claims on these two, and then secure it, and then see what happens. Okay, I think this mission may not be working correctly. because it says all settled provinces in Sigil Massa. Although the text may be wrong, but the mechanic may be right. Like, it may require me to secure the Adar. Let's proceed assuming that that's what's going on, as I want to get this territory anyways. Which means I will be fabricating some claims over here. Let me fabricate... Which one should I go for first? They're probably going to be pretty interchangeable. Yeah, they're completely interchangeable. Let's fabricate on Chinguetti first. It's 20 PI. Profits for drawer. Let's do it. Alright, some messiness at the end here, but we managed to expand in peacetime, which is nice. Alright, so we'll wait and see what we get from this. We'll do our other fabrication once we can get it started. Secure these tiles, then we'll see if this unlocks it. If this doesn't unlock it, this mission is bugged and I'll have to come back to it later. And I'll turn around and start doing the mission to go into the Rugen area. Okay, little end of the episode twist there, but that's fine. We'll see on the tick if we get more trade routes. Speaking of which... Okay. Senatorial resistance. Tokotoma Sankata the Bugler has proven to be a contentious candidate as Adakon. Perhaps previously an outspoken critic of the government, he was spoken of with contempt during the meeting of the Senate. All were surprised, therefore, when he was elected to rule Timbuktu, casting aside any notions of propriety and class. With such underwhelming popularity among the elite, it is hard to see how Tokotoma will get anything done. Okay, Oof, okay, we're gonna have some Senate disapproval here. Oligarchs and Dems both lose 10. I'm not gaining 5 tyranny or losing 15 stability for this. Unfortunately, we're gonna have some Senate support problems. I may be able to do some things to give myself some support, though. I may have to next episode. Okay. Bestowing and revoking both being missions at the same time is very interesting. I may be able to do something funny with that next episode. It's not worth upsetting the balance just yet. Okay, this is not actually quite as bad as I thought. Okay, Tokotoma Sankata, the Bugler, is elected, 7633. Trads are in control still. Omen power plus 10%. Okay, we will look at this later. And now, let me quickly see. Still can't reach anybody. I'll continue trading internally for now then. And yeah, we need to assign a new Gene governor. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Timbuktu campaign. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.